Hi everyone, hope you all are good. We are here for Grade 8 Math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password is provided by the administrator. Then you have to select Math from the subject tab. Scroll down to Grade 8 and then click on View All Lessons. So there you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter functions, and the lessons we're going to cover today are complete a table and graph a linear function, interpret the graph of a linear function word problems, write a linear function from a table, and compare linear functions, graphs, tables, and equations. So let's just start with the first lesson, that is complete a table graph of a linear function. Okay, here I'm on the chapter functions. Grade 8 math, that lesson is complete a table and graph of a linear function. Complete the table and then graph the function. Where is table and where is function? I think the function is f of x equals x plus 4. Okay, let's just start with the test questions because here the things are not clear. Okay, so first of all, we have to complete the table and then graph the function, right? You are given the function f of x equals 5x. You are given the x values when x is 0, the f of x is 0, right? 5 times 0 is 0. When x is 1, the function, the f of x is 5, right? Because 5 times 1 is 5. When x is 2, so you are given two of but the first graph is, you do not have anything on the first graph, right? So you have to see if the second one is the correct option, right? How? Because you have only graph given, but let me explain how. When x is 0, y is 0, the graph is starting from the origin, right? When x is 1, you have to see the points in the given table are on the graph. When x is 1, y is 5, right? When x is 2, y is 10. So that is the correct option, right? The correct option is the second one. Okay, complete the table and then graph the function. You are not given the function. You are given the values. X is 0, y is 3, right? X is 1, 3, y is 6, 0, 3, 3, 6, 4, 7, 5, 8. Okay, you are given two of the graphs, right? The first one is when x is 0, y is 3, right? Just look at the first graph. X is 0, y is 3. It must be here. That means this isn't the correct option, right? The correct option is second one. Let's just see 0, 3, 3, 6, 4, 7. Okay. Okay. X is 0, y is 3, right? X is 3, y is 6. X is 6, y is 9, right? So these are the points on the graph. So that means the correct option is the second. Basically, you are given with a table. You have to see the points on the graph and the table are exactly the same, right? If you have the same points on the graph and the table, on the same points on the graph and on the table, then that is the correct option. So the correct option for the given table is the second one. Got it? That is the second one. Okay, the next one is complete the table and then graph the function. The table is 154859, right? Let's see if the first graph is the correct one. X is 1, Y is 5. X is 1, Y is 5. X is 4, Y is 8. X is 5, Y is 9. You can see all 3 points on this graph, right, on this line. So that means that is the correct option. The correct option is option number 1, right? You just have to see if you have the same points on the graph, then that would be the correct option. So the correct option is option number 1. Complete the table and then graph the function. Okay, 0, 0, 1, 2, 2, 4 and 5, 10. 0, 0 means when x is 0, y is 0. That means the graph is passing through the origin, right? So option number 1 is not the correct option because this graph is not passing through the origin, right? 0, 0, 1, 2, 5, 10. Okay. Here is 0, 0. X is 1, y is 2, right? X is 2, y is 4. X is 3, y is 6. So this is the correct option, right? The correct option is the second one. Correct option is the second one. You just have to match the values from the table with the graph, right? Okay, the next one is complete the table and then graph the function. X is 3, f of x is 4. X is 4, f of x is 5. Just match these points on the graph. Let's just look at the first one. X is 3, y is 4. Here is x3. But y is not 4, y is 7. That isn't the correct one, right? 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6. Okay, just look at the other graph. X is 3, y is 4. X is 4, y is 5. X is 5 and y is 6. That means the correct option is the second one, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is interpret the graph of a linear function word problems. Let's see if okay. This graph shows how the cost of Greg's graduation picnic depends on the number of attendees. If there are 40 attendees, how much will Greg's graduation picnic cost? Okay, so here is the graph given, right? The graph is on the x-axis you are given the attendees and on the y-axis you are given the cost. The question is if there are 40 attendees, how much will Greg's graduation picnic cost? So here is the 40 attendees, just match it to the graph first and match it to the y-axis. That means if you have the 40 attendees in the picnic, their cost is $400, right? If there are 40 attendees in the picnic, the cost is $400, right? So start with the x-axis and then make a line till the graph and then the same point match to the y-axis, right? So that is $400. Let's just start with the test questions. Okay, the graph shows how the number of eggs that Clarence has left is related to the number of quiches that he prepares. So, if Clarence prepares 4 quiches, how many eggs we he have left? Okay, 4. Here is 4, right? Match it to the graph first from x to graph and then from graph to y-axis, right? So that means if Clarence prepare 4 quiches, then there are 20 eggs remaining. Number of eggs remaining is 20. Got it? The correct option is 20 eggs. This graph shows how the time required to a screen print a batch of shirts is related to the number of shirts in the batch. If it takes 500 minutes to screen print a batch of shirts, how many shirts are in the batch? Okay, so you have 500 minutes, right? Here is the time on the y-axis. So 500, here is 500, right? So just match it to the graph and then on the x-axis. So that means if it takes 500 minutes to print a batch of the shirts, there are 300 shirts in the batch, right? The correct option is 300 shirts, right? This graph shows how the total amount of paper Kenny's office has recycled depends on the number of weeks since they started the new recycling plan. How many weeks will it take Kenny office to recycle a total of 50 kilograms of paper? So which is the correct option? The correct option is yes, the correct option is 5 weeks, right? This graph shows how the distance Zoe has cycled depends on the number of trips she has taken to work. After 5 trips to work, how many kilometers will Zoe have recycled in total? Have cycled in total. So, which is the correct option? Mm, 5 trips to work. That is 70 kilometers. The correct option is 70 kilometers. Okay, the next one is this graph shows how the number of fish remaining in Quincy's fish tank depends on the number of fish he has sold. After one fish is sold, how many fish will Quincy have left in the fish tank? So, which is the correct option? One fish. If after one fish is sold, there are 9 fish in the tank, right? The correct option is 9 fish. The correct option is 9. Okay, the next one is this graph shows how the total number of scented soaps Irene has left is related to the number of gift baskets she assembles. If Irene assembles 6 gift baskets, how many scented soaps she have left? Which is the correct option? The correct option is 2 bars of scented soap. The correct option is 2, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. Okay, the next lesson is the next lesson is write a linear function from a table. Okay, so you are given the values in the table, right? You have to write down the equation from a table, right? So the function is a linear function. So we always write the whenever we have to write down the equation from the linear function, we can write it in a slope intercept form, that is y equals mx plus b. M is the slope of the function and B is the y-intercept. Y-intercept means the point where the graph is touching the y-axis, right? X must be 0 and y has a value. So here you can, in the table 0 and 92, that means this is the y-intercept, right? You have to find the slope from the table, right? So how do we find a slope? Slope is change in x divided by change in y. So how the x values are changing? 2 minus 1 is 1. Every time they are changing by 1. Also they are 93 plus 94, 194, they are also changing by 1, right? So that means the slope is 1. So that is y equals 1x and b is 92 plus 92. So the equation is y equals x plus 92, right? Basically, whenever we have to write down the equation from the table, we need two things: m, that is slope, and b, that is the y-intercept, right? So slope is change in y divided by change in x, right? You can see the y values are changing by 1, 93 plus 194, 94 plus 195. Also the x values are changing by 1, 1, 2, 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3. So that means the slope is 1, right? And the y-intercept is the one where the x value is 0 and you have a y value, the point where the graph is touching the y-axis, right? So the equation is y equals x plus 92. Got it? Let's just start with the test questions. Okay, you fill in the missing values to complete the linear equation that gives the rule of this table, right? So we have to find two things. The first one is the slope and the second one is the y-intercept, right? So when x is 0, y is 0. That means the y-intercept is 0, right? Okay, the other one is you need to find the slope. Let's see how the values are changing. 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3. 7 plus 7 is 14. 14 plus 7 is 21. So slope equals change in y is 7 and change in x is 1. That is 7. So you have y equals mx plus b. So that is y equals 7x plus b is 0. So the equation is y equals 7x, right? The correct option is y equals 7x. Option number 1 is the correct option. That is y equals 7x. Okay, the next one is which equation gives the rule for the table. So you have to find the two things, that is slope and the y-intercept. X is 0, y is 93. That is the point where graph is touching the y-axis. So y-intercept is 93. The slope we have to see. Change in x is 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 2 is 1, 2 plus 3 is 1. Then the change in y is 93 plus 1, 94, 94 plus 1, 95, 95 plus 1. That is change in x is 1, change in y is 1. So that is slope is 1. Y equals 1x plus 93. So the equation is y equals x plus 93. Got it? The correct option is y equals x plus 93. The second one is the correct option. Which equation gives the rule for this table? So which is the correct option? Okay, so you need to find the slope and the y-intercept, right? The slope is m equals change 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 1. 0 plus 1, 1 plus 1. So the values are changing by 1. Change in y is 1, change in x is 1, slope is 1. You're not given with the y-intercept. You can find the y-intercept like this. Y equals m x plus b. The slope is 1, right? Y equals 1x plus b. You can use any point from this equation and calculate the value of b. I'm going to use 1 and 0. X is 1, y is 0 plus b. That is 0 equals 1 plus b and b equals minus 1. That means the y-intercept is negative 1. So just put the values back in equation. Y equals 1x and b is also negative 1. So the equation is y equals x minus 1. Got it? The correct option is y equals x minus 1. Option number 1 is the correct option. Got it? Fill in the missing number to complete the linear equation that gives the rule for this table. So which is the correct option? The correct option is y equals x plus 68, right? Option number 1 is the correct option, that is y equals x plus 68. Which equation gives the rule for this table? So which is the correct option? Yes, that is y equals x plus 92. The correct option is y equals x plus 92. Option number 2 is the correct option. Which equation gives the rule for this table? Which is the correct option? The correct option is y equals negative 32x. Option number 1 is the correct option, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So let's just move on to next lesson. And the next lesson is compare linear functions, graphs, tables, and equations. Okay, function A and function B are linear functions. So you are given two of the linear functions. You have to, okay, the function A is y equals x plus 5 and function B is a graph. Basically, you are going to compare the graph and the equation. The statement you are given is which, okay, but you are not given statements here. So let's just start with the practice questions. How do we know what we have to do if we are not given with the practice question? Okay. Function A and function B are linear functions. Function A is y equals to x minus 3 and function B is a graph. Which statement is true? Slope of function A is greater than, basically that is a comparison between the slopes of both the functions. So for this one, compare y equals mx plus b. So m equals 2. For this one, slope is 2. Now b is to find the slope of the graph, that is you can use any 2 points and calculate the slope. This one and this one, that is 1 over 1. The slope of this one is 1 over 1, right? So the slope of function A is 2 and slope of function B is 1. So obviously the slope of function A is greater than slope of function B. The correct option is option number 1. The slope of function A is greater than slope of function B. Option number 1 is the correct option, right? Okay, the next one is, let's just calculate the slopes for both the functions. We got that is the y equals mx plus b, right? And m equals 5. So the slope of function b is 5. Now calculate the slope of function a. Just use any 2 points. I'm going to use this one and this one. Change is 1 and change in y is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 4 over 1, right? Change in x is y is 1 and change in x is 1. So that is 4. So the slope of function a is 4, right? So here you have the slope is 4, here you have slope is 5. So the correct option is slope of function a is less than slope of function b, right? The correct option is slope of function a is less than the slope of function b is the correct option. Got it? Okay, now you have to tell which is the correct option. Option A or option B. Just calculate the slopes for both the functions and let me know the correct option. Which is the correct option? The slope of function A is 5, right? And the slope of function B is 3. So the slope of function A is greater than slope of function B, right? The slope of function A is greater than slope of function B. Option A is the correct one. Okay, the next one is function A and function B are linear function, right? So which statement is true? Again, that is a comparison between the slopes of both the function, right? So which is the correct option? Slope of function A is, yes, for this one, the slope of function A is less than the slope of function B, right? Because the slope of function A is 1. And for this one, it is 1, 4. For B is it is 4. So slope of function A is less than slope of function B. Function A and function B are linear functions. So, which statement is true? Which is the correct option? Which is the correct option? Yes, the correct option is slope of function A is less than slope of function B, right? The correct option is the slope of function A is less than slope of function B. Very good. Option number B is the correct option. Okay, function A and function B are linear function. Which statement is true? So, which is the correct option? The correct option is slope of function A is less than slope of function B, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So, we were working on grade 8 math. The chapter we were working on is functions, and the lessons we have covered today are complete, complete a table and graph a linear function, interpret the graph of a linear function word problems, write a linear function from a table and compare linear functions, graphs, tables, and equations, right? So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we did today. That is your homework until next session, right? So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday, 5 to 9. Or either you can join me in the interactive session that would be daily from 4 to 5 and from 9 to 10. So that's all for today. If you have any question, you can please ask. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. No questions?